Now, just as a key videotape ended the previous part, a key videotape opens this part. This is a key videotape from the Spotlight on Marlon Brando collection of Sayonara. Of course, made in 1957. And this tape is from 87, so 30 years later this tape came out. Surprisingly, this tape doesn't have the Key Video logo anywhere on it. Here's the 1988 tape of Can Can, and by the time the CBS Fox era arrived, obviously you could fit a movie longer than 120 minutes on one tape. Many Video proved this with The Rose, if you saw that earlier part. Proving it by 1980. Proved that by 1980 you can get a single film on one tape. But you couldn't do it earlier in the Magnetic Video era. Earlier than 1980, I think. But by 1980, we were well past the point where you could put a film longer than 120 minutes on a single tape. And in this case, the movie ran 131 minutes. And this has a card from the Great Musicals collection, advertising All That Jazz, Cabaret, Can, Dr. Dolittle, Guys and Dolls, Hello Dolly, My Fair Lady, Oklahoma, The Rose, Scrooge, The Sound of Music, South Pacific, State Fair, and There's No Business Like Show Business. A little bit of a description on the back. So there's the pink slip, if you will, that came inside this tape of Can. There. This actually has a dated year code on it. This was printed during the 235th day of 1988. Now here's a pretty infamous movie that Fox did back in '63. It's Cleopatra, and a movie that drove them to bankruptcy for a few years during the early mid-'60s. Of course, starring Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton. '1980 print thereof. Year code. Tape 1 was printed September 10th, 1990, and Tape 2 was printed September 28th, 1990. Both of the tapes were printed during the 39th week of 1990. Here comes part 1, and here's part 2. Here is the line that originated the line, "Greed is good." It's Oliver Stone's Wall Street. It was released on VHS July 7th, 1988. And of course, Michael Douglas won the Academy Award for Best Actor for his performance in this movie. Yeah, as I said, this tape came out July 7th, 1988. And this has an ad for the Memorex video cleaning system. So dirty or was it Memorex? I mean, an ad from the Video Ad Network. And this came from the warehouse. It's Wall Street. Here's a Japanese CBS Fox tape. This one is of Gardens of Stone, a 1987 movie made by Zoetrope Studios. Of course, run by Francis Ford Coppola, who directed it. And another TriStar movie. Oh. Show it like this. This has a preview for Betty Bloom at the beginning, which is censored. This is a 1988 cassette. And Japanese CBS Fox tapes usually came in these gray cases, which had the CBS Fox warning all around the case. Inside they would have the CBS Fox logo embossed in there. And they have this hologram too. Look at that. Nice and shiny hologram. And the tape. Yep, that's a Japanese VHS that I have of Gardens of Stone. And here's this time from Key Video turns the spotlight on Henry Fonda series, and this is The Grapes of Wrath. There's this green card in there. It says thank you for taking on one of the classic films from our Henry Fonda collection. We're sure you'll enjoy of Hollywood's most popular stars. And here the movies here sold for $19.98. Here's a tape from the same series of My Darling Clementine from 1988. That was from 1943, obviously. No, 46. That's My Darling Clementine. Right here we have the 89.95 version of Big, released on VHS March 23rd, 1989. So a big box office hit back in 1988 for Fox. And another tape that comes from the warehouse. And here's Al Capone. This tape was released around 1989. This is an Ally Artist Pictures film from 1959. And the Ally Artist films were, at the time, owned by Lorimar Telepictures, which was eventually bought by Warner Brothers in the same year, 1989. Another tape with the date and year code on it from CBS Fox, printed during the 328th day of 1988. Here's Say Anything. This was released originally November 2nd, 1989. This is a reprint. It doesn't have the Simpsons shorts on it, and it starts up with the Fox Video logo, of all things. It's printed during the 30th week of 1997. I have to get the actual original print of this, which I know has Simpsons shorts on it. Here's The Dark Corner, starring Lucille Ball. This is a film noir vehicle from the star of I Love Lucy. The eventual one, of course, because it's just from 1946. Sure. Alright, we got here Memories of Me, released April 20th, 1989, and another movie a movie from MGMUA that flopped the box office, so of course this was released on CBS Fox as a result. See, by this point they were giving, if they weren't giving CBS Fox the James Bond movies, then they were mostly giving CBS Fox movies that failed at the box office, MGMUA at least. This led to a lawsuit against MGMUA filed by CBS Fox. And they eventually settled that out of court. This tape comes from, you probably can't see it very well. It comes from West Coast Video. Here's one of the 20th Century Fox era Charlie Chan movies, with Laura Land on the role, of course. This is Charlie Chan in Paris. Key videotape from 1989 of a 1935 Charlie Chan movie. And it's a special case dossier inside. This is what they were referring to here. And purchased from Blockbuster May 10th, 1995. Here we got The War of the Roses. This VHS was released June 28th, 1990. Of course, starring and for the first time directed by Danny DeVito. Comes from Critics' Choice, 7012 East Golf Links in Tucson, where a Quiznos Subs currently stands. Here's the theatrical cut of The Abyss, released March 29th, 1990, on VHS. Of course, it's got howlingly bad reviews. This particular cut of the movie got howling bad reviews when it came out. When a director's cut was released later on, it got much better reviews. Manufactured on August 21st, 1990, and printed during the 38th week of 1990. One of the very first CBS Fox tapes to have a week in year code. Here's the Rocky Horror Picture Show, the 15th Anniversary Edition. This is the North American VHS release of the film, the first North American VHS of the film, released November 8th, 1990. I put a print date of September 11th, 1990 there. This was... And the week in year code of the tape is very badly blotted out. And this came with a red linen, red tape guards. Red tape guards and red rails. Red linen, red linen, red linen, red linen, red rails.